All right, there's one piece I cut out. I wasn't able to cut two pieces, so I just cut one piece. But I don't know if you can see that. Fits pretty well. I think right now I'm just gonna cut this over here so it's not like a square. I'm just gonna cut it like an angle right here, so it kind of fits with the mat a little better. All right, cut those little edges off so it looks a little better. So I'm gonna round this off with the router. Nice and round now, not so sharp edges, and that looks pretty nice like that. And the reason for this low profile center console setup is, one, so we can have space to walk through here. There's nothing in the way, and second, low profile, we can still rotate or swivel the passenger seat. So if I swivel this around, you can see that low profile and doesn't get in the way of the swivel. So instead of bolting it down with these two bolts and the third one over here, because it's just too difficult to measure out where exactly those bolts are, and I don't think these are long enough anyways to go through the piece of wood, because they kind of stop. They don't go all the way down, they stop at a certain point. So that means I would have to go get new bolts. It's kind of what I want to do. I'll just leave this here because these actually work as when I put the wood down, it kind of levels the piece of wood, so it kind of works out. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm gonna use this here. So it's just going to be held down by a single bolt. So when I measured it from where the piece of wood hits, which is the mat here, from here to here, and then just centered it. So I believe it was from here to here, it was about 6 3/4. Then this full width is about 10 inches. Then looks like that's the center there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drill one hole there, and I'm just gonna use that single little hole right there to hold everything down. So let's see how that goes. And now the only question is what bolt to use. So what I'm gonna have to do is figure out what bolt to put in here through the bottom and kind of hold it there, and then screw something from the top, or figure out how to put something here at the bottom, and then bolt it from the top. We'll figure that out. Okay, so I think I came up with a solution. So I'm gonna actually use, might be a good idea to use a weld nut here. So I need something that I can just bolt on very quick. So I'm gonna use, so this is what I was gonna use, or I'm gonna use actually for the rear panels, MOLLE panels up there. But since I'm actually happy I ordered a lot more, because I knew it kind of might, for another project, and it seems like this is gonna work pretty well here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make this hole a little bigger. To insert this calls for, I believe, a 1/2 inch hole, but I'm gonna go a little smaller, do 7/16, and just so it could be nice and snug. So this is gonna go in, so it's gonna be from the bottom. So imagine this is already in, and then I'm gonna use flange bolts that I bought that were a little long for the MOLLE panels, but in this case I think it's gonna work for this application. And that's gonna just bolt on from the top. So I'm gonna make this a little bigger. All right, made that hole a little bigger. All right, so this is gonna go in here just like that. As you can see, the hole's a little smaller. It's still a little small, so I'm gonna go in there with the 7/16 again and just kind of make it a tad bit bigger, and then I can slide this in there. Okay, so there's the hole. So this weld nut's gonna go right there, just like that. All right, I just put one piece of electrical tape, and now it's a lot more snug. So we're gonna do the piece of wood in a bit. I'll show you guys. All right, so there's a hole. You can't really tell if it lines up. I'm pretty sure it does, but now the problem is this is not long enough. So it doesn't reach, it doesn't catch thread. So I'm gonna go see if I have another bolt that's a little longer. All right, so there it is, it aligned. And the only bolt that I found was this size right here. So I just guess I just screw it in with the screwdriver. So see, as you can tell, it is bolting in. So the walnut's pretty cool because it's kind of made out of kind of like rubber. So when you start bolting this in and tightening it up, the bottom portion of the walnut, since it's rubber, it gets compressed, so it spreads out, and that's what kind of holds it in place. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, there it is. All right, so I decided to stain the side just a little bit, and then now I measured out where the cup, we're pretty much looking to fit these cups right here. So these are, bought this is 3 inches wide, so I'm gonna drill a hole here, and I'm pretty sure that should be fine. And this would be, that should fit like right there. All right, measure this out evenly so we can have 2 cups without hitting each other. I have no problems putting them side to side. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm not sure if I'm going to do it here or over here. I'm just going to cut out some type of little shape that will mimic like an ashtray kind of thing, where you can just kind of put things here and there. That way it doesn't just slide off. So I'm probably going to put that like right here. Maybe 2 of them, or maybe just one big one right here. Alright, so these are the holes. As you can see, the drill got a little out of hand a little bit there. Scarred the center console, which is fine. I've also routed out like a little spot for like loose change or just like small things. You can see it's just a little bit, things like a little 1/4 inch, maybe less. Just to hold things here in place. This part came out pretty good. I think the only thing else that's left to do is, since we could put the drink and it goes like that, it goes all the way down. Same thing over here, but on this side, kind of hits the brake there. So this goes back a little bit. We're gonna find a kind of a cup holder that we could put at the bottom here. That way it doesn't go all the way down. It just kind of like sits right there, and that should help it just keep in place. Another thing I did here was, if you see a washer in there, I just hammered a little washer in there, so when I put in this bolt here and I tighten it down, it doesn't break the wood. So that's there. I might actually add one more washer in there, but side goes there. Let me see if I can put this in. So that goes right there. Then just get a screwdriver. Just like that. And this holds, see, that holds pretty steady there. This part, I did add a little piece at the bottom of the piece right here. I don't know if you can see that, just right here. I just use wood glue. That way it just rests flat right there and doesn't move up and down. You can tell it does move side to side. So I might come down here and add some type of holder right here. So here's that piece of wood that I was talking about. Just acts like a little spacer. I'm actually had to screw it on, because it actually fell off because I guess the wood glue didn't stick on properly. So now I put a little bit more wood glue, and with that, it's not going anywhere. So I'm just gonna leave it for now. I'm just gonna leave it the way it is. I'm not gonna sand it or put polyurethane on it until I finally decide what I'm gonna put on it. So if I do need to make any other cuts, I know I don't need to do all that stuff all over again. So for now, this is just gonna go in there. So instead of seeing this all the time, now for the moment, this will stay on there. All right, so on my quest to figure out how to hold the front piece, I remember it actually had these pieces of Velcro, which I've actually had for a while. I was saving it for something. I really was able to use it for something, and I think I found the application for it. So what I'm going to do, instead of using like a tie down or whatever, I'm just going to use Velcro. So this piece is on the side, and these two pieces are going to go here. I'll show you. Alright, so instead of using some type of bolt whatever to tie down there, I'm just going to put these right here. So I'm just going to cut this a little bit right here and put it like that. So probably like right there. Maybe cut a little piece off and probably cut this piece off right here. That way when I bolt it onto the wall nut back here, and the front will just be held in place by Velcro. Alright, so I put this on. I already had adhesive, but I just had to put a little bit of a glue gun on there so it doesn't come off. And I'm about to do the same thing right here. So I'm gonna put some I'm gonna use a glue gun to hold this piece right here. See how that goes. There it is with the Velcro in place. There it is right there. So I believe I'm just let the glue gun sit for a bit. If it doesn't hold out too much, I might just go in there and just kind of sew it by hand. That way it really stays on there. But that's it. The only thing left to do is, like I said earlier, get a little cup holder that stops the actual cup from going all the way down there. And if you spill anything, we don't want to spill anything on these wires down there. And last thing is also to cover this up right here. You know, maybe eventually later on, I'm actually want to try to get rid of this and go for a smaller handle. But for now, we're just gonna try to cover this up. So there it is. Now we don't have to use this anymore. This clears up space right here. I'm not ready to put anything there, but just kind of just gives us space to move around a bit. Right, it's more spacious, and there it is. Low profile center console. Let me know what you think.